Welcome, everybody. How you doing? Welcome back to the post-match fan show. Tottenham Hotspur have just beaten Burnley 5-2. An incredible performance, an incredible version of Ange Ball. What were we worried about? There's no meltdown happening today, people. It's a melt up. It's a melt up. I can't wait to discuss it with you lot. How are we going to do this? We're going to go... You know what we're going to do? We're going to start off by putting the link out and we'll see what we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Before we do, let me ask you guys, let me ask you all to do one thing very, very... Mr. Chase, you're a little bit late, bro. That was on the previous one. It was the previous one. We've already got the... we've already got the winner. Appreciate it. Maybe we'll do another one. Maybe we'll do another one if it's if there's a lot of people coming in. Different gravy says beyond 72. Adrian Stroker's back in the house. What's happening, Adrian? Good to see you, mate. Lee the Hotspur. It's a fix. It's a fix. Smash those likes, says Blaine Dev. As you come in, lads and lasses, big up, Blaine. Good to see you, my man. Smash the like button. You know the rules. 55, 56, 60% sort of ratios. There's 430 of you. We should already be on 200 likes. Easy as pie. We're going to be talking about the game. We've got so much to go through. We have the winner of the shirt. I hope he's messaging me on Twitter or on Instagram so I can reach out to him. Terry, I hope you can find me, mate. I think he has. I think he's just texted me. No, not quite. He hasn't yet. Chelsea are still losing to Forest. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, did they lose? Is it official? Is it official? Let's get it up. Is it done? It's done. They lost at home. Things you love to see.com. Things you love to see. Unbelievable stuff. Where do we go? Let me just get this up just so we can go have a little look around the houses quickly. We got Chelsea losing at home to Nottingham Forest. Yeah, it's either going to be the greatest paradigm shift in football ownership in the history of the sport, or it's all going to come tumbling down and Chelsea will be an absolute mess inside of 3 years. Remains to be seen which one will eventuate. I'd imagine it's probably the former because of their intelligence and corrections and connections. But a little part of me wants to see them crumble. A little toxic side of me wants to see them absolutely crumble. Who else? What else? What else happened today? Let's have a look. Let's have a little quick look around the houses. We've got Sheffield United, Everton. What a great game that was this morning that finished 2-2. Well, it's early this afternoon. You love to see it. Really, really cool game. And Dan Juma getting the equaliser, but a really impressive performance from their new guy, Neto, I think his name is. Brentford 2, Bournemouth 2. Interesting. Who scored for them? Mbuemo, Jensen, Solanke and Brooks. Oh, looks like Bournemouth were unlucky. Haven't seen the game yet, but Mbuemo saves their blushes, gets a point. Bournemouth robbed of 2 points late on. Tottenham absolutely smash it. And is that it? And yeah, we've looked at them. Oh no, Manchester City. Obviously, I look at the hat trick for Erling Haaland as well. If you have Haaland and Sonny in your fantasy league team today, you probably got 200 points. Quite incredible stuff, especially if one of them is captain. Fantastic. Brighton play Newcastle in 20 minutes time. We're going to have that on in the background. So we're kind of doing a watch along at the same time as we are doing a fan phone-in show. Let me get the link and stick it out there. I want everyone to come in. If there's loads of you that want to come in and get off your chest, then we're going to have to be a little bit sporadic and sparse with the way that we are going to get everybody some minutes to get things off their chest. I'm going to start with like a panel, and then we'll go from there. Let me get the link. Pinthelink.com. Whilst we're at it, look at people piling in. Hang on a second. What's going on? We got Blaine Dev with an absolute monster. Blaine Dev, what are you doing to me, man? What are you doing to me? You're absolutely insane with your generosity. Sean, check your messages. Why can't I find this? Where's it gone? Oh, that's why there's something that's coming through. Sean, check your messages. Spurs are making me share this wealth. Second in the league. I'll check my messages in a second. 11 goals in 4 games and attractive, exciting football. It's what we love. Big up. Come on, you Spurs. Blaine Dev, mate, you're an absolute superstar. Thank you so much. And I've already told everyone on the previous stream about how you're going to be donating some of your wonderful, or you're thinking about donating some of your wonderful treasures to the community, mate. That's amazing to see. Blaine Dev, absolutely adore you, mate. Love you to come on, mate. Come on if you're in the background. If you've got time, the link is in the chat. Thank you so much, mate. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the house right now. What I'm going to bring you all in. I'm going to bring you all in, and then we're going to see what happens. Okay. So if people want to come in after that, you're going to have to wait like 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe whatever, so I can get everyone to have some time. We got Drew Zilla in the house. We got Adrian Sroka. We got Soren. We got Dan is back in the house as well. We got Perchy, and we got Bobby and Little K. How you doing, Bobby K, Little K? Good to see you all. Unbelievable stuff, unbelievable stuff. Tottenham have just gone away at Burnley and done. I mean, it didn't even feel.
They've done bits.
It didn't even feel difficult, did it? Let me ask. The way I'm going to do this, guys, because there's 7 of you or 7 of us in the show, but I'm going to shut up. So I'm just going to be asking questions and letting you guys go. Just try and keep answers as quick as possible, and then we'll keep the flow going so everyone can get involved. Drew, I'll start with you, mate. Where do you want to start? Six different topics we could go with. Let's start with your overall thoughts.
Can everyone hear me all right? I'm having to use the mic on the computer.
Yeah, you're fine. Fine.
The fact that we got the 3 designated captains all scoring, assisting, like I'm on board the Ange train. Like Fulham was a setback. It's bad, but it's in the past. I think we all just need to be positive. This is the Tottenham we've missed. This is the Tottenham that we've been wanting for the last 3 or 4 years. A couple of people had some off games, but I honestly feel like maybe Basuma didn't have the best game, but I feel like he was maybe asked to sit back a little bit and just control things rather than burst forward. And I feel like the game plan worked. Big Ange, here we go.
Big Ange, here we go indeed, mate. It's great to see you, Drew, and always, mate, thank you so much for your shepherding of the chat in the background, mate, getting the likes in. Really appreciate you. Adrian, mate, who was your man of the match?
Well, it had to be Maddison, didn't it? He was that good, wasn't he? I mean, he's a better player than I ever thought he was before he came to this club, to be honest with you. He was making things happen everywhere. And a big shout out for Kulusevski, his hold up play, his moon. He was very involved. He was laying balls off. I hope people are seeing this side of Kulusevski, because he always gets criticised for being too left-footed and cutting in. But he just holds up play to set things up and make things happen. And very impressed with the 2 centre-backs, Van der Ven and Romero. Thought they were outstanding as well. Basuma started a bit slowly. In fact, our midfield didn't quite get going, and they scored and all that. We looked a little bit. We couldn't get firing on all cylinders. But then once we controlled the game, it was okay, and we equalised. And I thought the turning point really in the game was when Romero got that little tap in, which crawled over the line, from outside. When he hit that exocet shot, right, that just crawled in. I mean, that really was the turning point, because you go in 2-1 up instead of 1-1. It's a totally different atmosphere in that changing room, isn't it? And that instilled belief. Nervous wait for it to be awarded. I actually thought that it was going to be given offside at one point. Yeah, so that was good. Substitutions were good. Showed that we need to keep a couple of dogs of war like Højbjerg and Skip. And if you can ever get rid of them in January or whatever, one of them or Højbjerg, you've got to replace him. I'll let someone else talk now.
No, wonderful stuff, mate. Let's keep it flowing. I've got so many questions I want to ask all of you. I want to get your takes on all of them. So we're going to keep the conversation going. Soren, to me, mate. Listen, Adrian says it was clearly Maddison. I don't know if, cheers, Adrian, mate. Good to see you.
Early. Get on the vodka.
Yeah, you know what I mean, mate. Soren, everyone's on it. Love it. Love to see it on a Saturday night. Soren, for me, I feel like we're obviously overlooking the fact that is it difficult to not give the man of the match to Sonny, scoring a hat-trick on his debut starting in the 9 role. I mean, how good was he today?
I think there's 2 things to say between both of them players. For all those that were knocking Sonny last season, obviously reasons why we know, but we've got our Sonny back today. Man of the match, why not? I don't think you could argue whether you gave it to Maddison or Sonny. Both of them did what they're on the pitch to do. Sonny scored the goals, Maddison created. how are we going to cope without Harry Kane? I think we're showing it already, aren't we? We don't need Harry Kane. You know, we've got a team that's going to score goals from all over the pitch. Don't get me wrong, Harry Kane is a big miss. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we don't want a Harry Kane in our team, but, you know, we've shown now that we can score without him. We've shown that we're going to get goals from out everywhere. Maddison is just, I mean, all those people that said we've had a shit transfer window.
Sorry, guys, please try not to swear. I'm trying not to get delimited. That's all right. Just try not to get limited ads. Yeah.
Do we not think Maddison is the steal of the transfer window? Looking at that, you know, what a player he is showing to be for us. Basuma, he had a quiet game, but is that because he's been so outstanding for the previous 2 or 3? We can't expect him to carry on like he's been doing. The back four, you know, Porro made a couple of mistakes. I don't think Van der Ven was as solid as he has been, but that back four is starting to look good. That save from Venom, you know, what sort of save was that? You know, don't get me wrong.
That was a crucial. That was when it was 3-1 as well. That goes in. Game's a different in a different stage, right? You never know what's going to happen then.
Yeah.
We'll continue around here. We'll keep the conversation going. Dan, welcome to the show again, mate. Third time today, mate. Third time's a charm. Listen, bro. Who was your man of the match? Was there anybody else that anybody else you want to mention? Maybe not man of the match.
I'll give it to Son. I'll just give it to Son because he scored the most goals for us. But no, everyone else, I think I'd give overall 8 out of 10 performance today. Not to overrate, not to underrate. Still some work to do, but no, man, I was just like, that's the Spurs we want, right? You know, we go 2-1 up at halftime and we keep going. That's just how we go. So let's go.
Exactly.
Perchy, mate. Anything specific you want to call out? I'll let you flow wherever you want to go. But like, I think there were some absolute masterful performances at the back in the first half from Udogie. I thought was absolutely phenomenal once again today. Is there a better left back in the Premier League right now?
Oh, a good question. I mean, at the moment, I think he's absolutely brilliant. I mean, but listen, I'm not one of these to me. I'm not one of these to get sort of ahead of myself. Listen, look on today's performance though. Outstanding. Porro, 5 minutes in, you got, he's going to have a bad game today. He got absolutely destroyed for the first goal. But after that, brilliant. Everyone looked good. One player for me that stood out, I mean, apart from the obvious ones, Manor Solomon. Everyone's telling me this guy's not it. I thought he was brilliant. I thought his movement and everything what people have been saying, right? Put Son down the middle, put Solomon out on the left, Kulizeski on the right, a lot more dynamism. That's what we had today. That was a difference maker, right? They didn't know what to do with us. I thought we were absolutely brilliant today. All over the park. I thought Romero was brilliant. Van der Ven had a good game. That midfield again solid. But again, James Maddison, what a player, by the way. What a player. The goal he scores, by the way. Anyone will realize what a finish he takes there. The finish he gets on that.
Yeah, unbelievable.
His feet are ridiculous. Like, I'd not really appreciated before. But I just not really appreciate how quick his feet are. Like, how well he controls the ball, right? Like, I mean, I've not watched much of Leicester, but he's a joy.
Yeah. There's really no, like, when he gets that ball put through to him by Udogie. Once again, Udogie, by the way, looks up, finds the right pass, finds it. I said it in commentary. Like, you just don't give Maddison that much space. I knew it was going to be a goal, but then when you watch it back from the right angle, it actually had to be the perfect shot because the goalkeeper, James Trafford, gets across like wonderfully quickly. And so it's just absolutely perfect for Maddison. Sorry, Perchy, I'll let you carry on, mate.
No, I'll just finish up. I'll jump off so you can get more people on because I've got to do my match reaction for my channel anyway. So what I would say, one player that also got a lot of criticism before really having a show, Vicario, again, was brilliant today. I thought some of the saves he made were brilliant. Nothing he can do about either goal, really. I think the second goal, there's nothing he can do about it. It's a bit of maybe you could say a bit of poor defending, but I thought Burnley's both goals were brilliant. I thought I actually want to say this. I think all the goals today were really, really well worked. in different ways. I thought there was some really good goals today. It was one of those games that you go, really good for the neutrals to watch. But as a Spurs fan, an absolute brilliant game. Listen, I'm a bit gutted now that we've got international break because, let's be honest, you just want to see this. This is one of those performances you want to keep playing now. And the only slight setback I felt was Tuesday. If we'd have played a team like this, we'd have probably won it and the momentum would have kept going. But listen, onwards and upwards, guys. Look, Sean, I know you've got loads of people coming on, so I'll jump out and let someone else jump in. But thanks for having me on, mate. Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers,
Appreciate it, buddy.
Big up,
Perchy. Where you can find Perchy. Putting his video up very soon. Appreciate you, Perchy. Love you, man. Bobby, Big K, Little K. Before we come to you, mate, just quickly, there's 1,200 people in the house. Absolutely insane post-match numbers. Love to see it. You know what you got to do, though, guys. You got to smash the like button. I don't ask for anything else apart from two things. Hit the subscribe and hit the like button. And obviously, the people that do have channels, make sure you get across to them. I'll be putting everyone's links into the description or the title, depending on the space, as soon as I can. Bobby K, Little K, Krish. Bobby, I'm not going to come to you, mate. I've heard your takes on this before. I'm going to come. No, I want both of you.
As soon as we came down here, he said, "Dad, he's not going to want to talk to you. Just sit off to the side."
Yeah, no. I want both of your takes.
As soon as we came down, he goes, "We don't need you, Dad." And I was like, "All right,
we don't need you anymore, mate. We've got Little K in the house. Little K, listen, I'm going to tell you, please don't swear, Little K. I know you've got a potty mouth on you, mate. You got to keep that to yourself, all right?
I talked to him about that already, Sean. I talked to him about that. He's been very vile lately.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay, Little Krish. Wait, who do you want to talk about, buddy? Who was your player of the game? Who do you want to talk about?
Nice one, Sonny. Nice one, Sonny.
Another one.
Sonny, I'm obviously going to give it to him. He's my favorite player. I'm not being biased at all, totally. But, yeah, he's got 3 goals.
This time you can be.
No, listen, I think a lot of people are going to be happy tonight. People that backed him. A lot of people have been critical of Sonny, but you know his debut in the 9 role, right? He's come into the 9 from the get-go. He absolutely smashed it. I mean, it was clear it was the perfect decision from Ange Postecoglou, Krish. Do we keep Sonny now in the 9? Does Richarlison stay on the bench? Is that the unfortunate truth? We have to just shake hands with reality, yeah?
Yep, definitely. Richarlison can't finish. He's horrible. He keeps trying to go for those acrobatic shots, but he misses the ball.
This kid knows too much.
He's trying to do too much, but he was like Lucas Moura, but like worse.
Wow.
He's like Lucas Moura, but worse. 100%.
Wow.
This kid is harsh.
This kid knows ball.
And everyone thinks he's the sweet one.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Meet Jay. He's insane. Bobby, let me come to you, mate. Look, like I say, same question though. As Richarlison, has he had his chance? Has today proven? Sorry, Rishi. You know what's his name? Ange said, "I'll give you 8 or 9 games," but today he went a different direction. I don't know whether it was because of a knock to Richie or not. We're not entirely sure about what.
Well, he went off against Fulham with a knock, did he not?
Yeah,
apparently, right? But he came on the pitch for 20 minutes. So if you can play for 20, can't you play for 90? So what was the decision there? Did Ange take the opportunity to say, "All right, you've got a knock. Don't worry. I want to see what something else looks like," and it looked brilliant.
I think this played right into Ange's hand perfectly just because of that. Because we all know, we were all saying that everything's going great from the front 3 back. It just seems like that front 3, something's not connecting. But we had 1 goal out of the front 3 with Kulusevski, right? That was it. And we were all, that was becoming a concern. And today, when you see 3 coming in, Solomon even cutting in, that to set up Sonny there, that was absolutely perfect. You know, Romero's goal was just what a goal he scored. I think this is the solution. That I think we discussed this, Sean, or I know on another show. I personally had said I'd like to see Sonny in the middle and Richie go to the left. If everybody's saying that he can't play as a 9 and he did well at Everton on the wing, then let's push him out to the wing. But now we got this Johnson kid in. We got a lot of pace there. I was actually, in fact, I wanted to see Richie go left, Porro come over up on the right, and Royal behind him, just to really put all that speed up at the front. And we have those options now. So it's exciting. You know, it's great to see. I know a lot of people have already started to throw the hands up and go, "Oh, Kane who? But I seriously wonder how much greater we would be if he was even still here. But it's nice to see that we're not having that relegation battle already, like so many expected, and we're actually able to score goals without Kane. But sorry, before I got into that, Soren, Dan, Adrian, Drusilla, Drew, Shawnee, good to see you guys. And sorry, in the bottom, who's that there?
Roy's in the bottom.
Good to see you guys. How are you? Good morning, everybody, and everybody in the chat. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's 12 a.m. I'm going to enjoy. It's 12 p.m. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day today, and hopefully you guys will too, because this is, to bounce back after that Fulham loss as well. Heads were down. Everybody was questioning Ange. It was crazy how quick the toxic table turned, and how much negativity came out from one result. And this almost shuts everybody up, and also kind of makes everybody happy in the sense that, okay, maybe it was a failed transfer window because we only brought in Johnson at the end, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of negative towards that. But I think we've made the steps in the right direction, and that's all that matters. We know things weren't all going to happen in one window, but the right steps were made. The only thing that disappointed me with the window itself was the fact that we didn't clear out more deadwood. That's about it.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, the window is closed. Roy, I think a lot of people were closing their eyes to certain positive outcomes, right? There's certain assumptions with the window being closed, with the way it closed. One injury, we're paper thin. Anything can happen. Anything can go wrong. Today, I don't know. We haven't heard anything, but it doesn't look like anything went wrong with regards to injury. I don't think any of the changes were forced. I mean, what's your takeaway, Roy? It's great. I think this is your debut on the show, mate. I know I appreciate you're a long time watcher in the comments, and I've seen you on Facebook, message me and stuff. Welcome to the show. I mean, where do you want to go with it, buddy? There's a question I want to ask everybody after we come to your initial take, and then we can go around and see where we go. But I mean, who was your surprise of the day? Was it Manuel Solomon? Was it Kulusevski? What would you like to say?
The big surprise of the day for me was Solomon and the 3 goals of Son. Finally, good display from Son and the boys. The boys did an excellent job.
Were you worried going in with having Solomon on the left and Sonny in the middle? I was a little bit concerned, not concerned, more curious to see how we were going to press, whether or not we had the necessary strength in Solomon. To me, I thought Solomon nicked the ball and won the ball back 3 or 4 times. We're going to get the stats up in a minute, but before we, I want to get the seeing eye test from you lot before we get the stats up. For me, I thought Solomon, not only was he great with the ball at his feet, I thought he had a sloppy first 20 minutes. I thought his decision making was poor in the first 20. Second half of the first half, Roy, I thought he was absolutely wonderful. And then in the second half as well, before he was substituted off, I thought Solomon was a breath of fresh air. He's a really exciting player to me.
To me, it's like every one of the boys that gets the chance without Richarlison hits the nail on the head. This is superb.
So would you keep Richarlison on the bench? Are you not interested in seeing Richarlison be reused, or is he going to be just relegated back to a substitute again?
I think the right decision for Ange to do is bench him one more game, because this really worked.
Yeah,
I think he needs his time on the bench, and I don't know what to say. Richarlison hasn't impressed much.
I mean,
for us to try this solution was fun to see, and that Son got 3 goals as well. Just proves we got to do this more. Richarlison will get his chance when we have we have to make changes.
Right.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Stay there 1 second, Roy. Drew, I got a super chat from Elvis G here. Big up, Elvis. Good to see you, my man. He's still in the building. We haven't got our Tottenham back. This is something else. Is this a new version of Tottenham? Is this a Tottenham that, unless you're like 70 years old and remember the old school stuff, is this a new thing that we're seeing at Tottenham, where we're just dominant, aggressive, attractive, and fluid? It's fluid. It's all of the things you want to see, right?
I don't know. You obviously can't see my grey hairs on my camera, but yeah,
we can. No, we can.
I thought they were white.
You can.
Like mine.
I appreciate that, guys. Appreciate it. I remember.
Why does the Hotspur, mate?
Right. I mean, I remember speaking to you. Like my first recollection of Tottenham is the own goal from Gary Mabbutt and the 86 FA Cup against Coventry. So I've been around for a minute. I mean, obviously not as long as Adrian, but I've been around for a minute.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome, brother. I don't know. I completely understand what he's saying because, yeah, it is a different type of Tottenham. Like the last time I enjoyed Tottenham was under the guy I still refuse to name. But yeah, this is different. It's more fluid. Like I'm watching it and I'm seeing Udogie like do like an elbow left back motion into midfield and Basuma cover him and things like that. And I've not seen something so, I don't know what, ergonomic maybe? I don't know if that's the word, but like, yeah there's like this fluid movement where like they're starting to understand that if somebody goes, I need to move into that position. Like we saw I'm going to refer to him as Vander Tongen, move out from centre back to left back to cover Udogie and then make some sprinting run down the sideline. And yeah, we're starting to see something that's a little bit more fluid. Everybody under the last decent team had a structured role. And now it feels like it's a lot more, all right, I'm going to wait for you to do your thing. And I understand that when you do that, I need to move back into, you know, we don't just have midfielders anymore. We've got a midfielder that drops back into a left back position to cover the left back when he goes inside and moves forward. Like it's not something I've seen before. I'm a little bit confused by it.
But true, that's all that is. It looks like they're playing as a team because all of a sudden you've got guys actually caring about the guy beside them.
No, absolutely.
You know, we've been just so disjointed for going on 3 years now. And
but does it not make you laugh, Bobby?
Football. This is so refreshing, right?
Does it not make you laugh that last season we were supposedly had this world-class manager that couldn't get a tune out of our players? We bring a manager in that's basically unknown, and all of a sudden our team looked good.
But Soren,
I'm very hesitant to I don't like to shame people. I'm not about to call somebody out and be like, "Oh, you're terrible. You were bad," but I feel like I don't want to call Conte a fraud, but I feel like
I don't think he's a fraud.
We were given so many excuses. These players can't play this way.
Well, did you see Ange Postecoglou's press conference yesterday where he kind of had a go at Conte by saying, "I'm not the sort of manager that's going to call out my players. It's my fault." Right, that is the perfect scenario where you look at a manager that's come in and he's basically said to these players, go out and play football.
Yeah.
You know, go and show me what you can. I mean, last year under Conte, when we went 1 or 2-0 down and we started to play, we looked all right. We looked a good team.
Yeah.
I'm just coming and he's kind of said, look, you're attacking your players. The whole point of playing football is to score goals.
Yeah.
If we score more goals than them, we will win the game. That's the whole point of football. And all of a sudden, we're starting to play that. Now, that comment about we haven't got our Tottenham back, we've got something else, I kind of disagree with it because the Tottenham philosophy is to play football like this. So yes, we have got it. I understand what
When was the last time we saw this sort of football? It wasn't Conte. It wasn't Mourinho. It certainly wasn't Bruno. I don't even think it wasn't even Pochettino.
It was
better football now than the Pochettino era.
Yeah.
Maybe Harry Redknapp. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe Martin Yol, but back then it was a different system. I don't know. I think you've got to go right back.
Shall I tell you what this kind of football reminds me of? Kevin Keegan's Newcastle. Kevin Keegan's Newcastle.
Yeah.
You know, you score 4, we'll score 5. That's the kind of football we're playing now. And it is a breath of fresh air.
Difference is we've got a football manager now, not an assembly line manager.
Yeah.
That to me, our last two basically just expected that you are a machine.
Yeah.
This is your function.
But Bobby, we've now got a manager
to you. Whereas this guy comes in, is the kind of manager puts his arm around you when you're having a bad game. Hey, Mia, when you're having a bad game, kind of thing, or whatever, lifts you up, kind of thing.
But Bobby, what we've got now is a manager that doesn't need world-class players in every single position because he has got players that want to play for him and that he will develop into this type of player for his team, which makes them better. You know, we don't have to go and spend £100 million on every single player anymore because we've got a manager that will make you believe that you are a £100 million player and you will play for that manager. That's the difference.
We got a manager that makes these guys remember that they're playing a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Not only that, but as Ange said himself,
sorry, can I just for 5 seconds, Sean? I've got to do this. I promised I would. I got to shout out my cousin Jag. Hello, Jag in Leicester. He's the reason I'm a Tottenham fan. Sean, he is a massive, massive fan of your show. He watches every show. He messages me consistently. I meant to tell you, he's always like, "Did you see his walk with Bugsy today? Did you see what he's talking? Sean spot on this and that." He absolutely adores your opinions, man.
Get him on the show,
mate.
Do not say we got 10, but like send him my number, and if he wants to come on and talk Tottenham, he's more than
welcome.
Oh,
he won't. He's not. He won't come on streams or anything like that. But maybe one day we'll do the kids the off the pitch thing kind of thing and find out.
Well, I appreciate the support, Jack. Thank you for the support. I want to ask. Mia, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, Mia.
You're out in the sun. You're showing off your tan lines. I can see it. Well done. Well done.
Joe, what? That was when I went on a holiday because we had one day which was so beautiful and I got really tanned, man. In one day, I couldn't believe it. I was impressed.
Does Mia have a tattoo sleeve? Because I'm going to have to go if that's the case. I
don't have a sleeve, no. But I have some there. And then
you got enough to be dangerous. So,
yeah,
I'm gonna
go. Everybody thought she was. No, I found out some things about Mia lately. I like that. I like the new Mia. I like Mia 2.0.
Yeah, what's your take on the game, mate?
It was just lovely to watch. I thought Adoji was really good. I thought Solomon did really well. I'm really pleased for Solomon to see that he can show what he can offer because I think he hasn't really had a consistent amount of time. So to see him consistently today, and he did do really, really well. I thought he was fantastic. Sonny, of course, and then my boy Romero scoring an absolute beauty of a goal.
Oh, you know what? Sorry, Mia. That's exactly where I was going to go next. I'm gonna ask you first. We scored a lot of good goals today. What was your favourite goal?
It has to be Romero, but yeah, it has to be for me because obviously I love it.
It was absolutely special. I think that was my favourite goal as well, to be honest. Madison's was class, but I think Romero. It was Romero, right?
Sonny's first goal was
Sonny's first goal. That chip, yep.
That little dink, that was a good touch.
But you know
let us know in the comments who was your favourite goal. 900 people here, still amazing support. Keep smashing the like button. Keep smashing the subscribe, but let us know in the comments which number, what goal was it? Was it Sonny's? Was it Romero's? Was it Madison's? Who else scored? It was three of Sonny's. Which one of Sonny's, if it was Sonny's, was hers? And then who were the other two? Let me
Romero and Maddison.
Do you know what is with Romero's one? It's a bit unexpected. You wouldn't expect a centre back to score a goal like that. So I feel like that.
You will with Ange ball.
You will with Ange ball, but what I'm trying to say is the player's skill set. He isn't obviously known for scoring those kind of goals as a defender. So
it was just class.
Do you also think, Mia, that it might have something to do with the way you felt about the person kicking the ball when they scored it? Because I know how you feel about Romero. Come on.
I mean, a little bit.
There we go.
I'm honest, it's fine. But it was a really good goal, to be fair to him.
It was a very good goal.
So, but yeah,
from distance and took
I enjoyed the game. I definitely. We just looked in control, didn't we? As soon as we come out for that second half, they didn't really do much at all, man. That was just like we were in absolute cruise control of that game, and it was just. I'm just so happy. No, like when you get that really happy feeling, you're just like, I'm just overwhelmingly happy right now to watch my team and to watch football and just to feel like overjoyed watching it instead of thinking I'm going to fall asleep. I want to smash something.
Yeah. Are we melting up though? Are we melting up after the disappointing transfer window closed after Fulham? Is everybody now like I'm so happy this happened. If we lost 2-1 today, or 1-0, I think the fan base would have been an absolute meltdown. But the fact that we've won and so convincingly, I hope that a few people that just want to always bring out the negatives, I hope they can just have a day off for a little while right? Shut up and
Indeed.
let the rest of us enjoy being a
Sean,
Tottenham fan.
Yeah,
No,
do you know,
no,
what?
in the Emirates.
If we'd have
Yeah,
lost
exactly.
2-0
F off down the Emirates. You don't like it? F off down the Emirates, Drew.
Right.
all those people that are negative are going to be negative whatever. They'll
No
find
matter
a
what.
negative
Exactly,
within today's
Soren.
match.
Yep.
There'll be a negative within
Yep.
today's match. Probably
Always
the
find
fact that
something.
I'll be negative with the ref. That's about it. I'll be negative with the ref. That's my only negative.
Sorry, I just realized how beautiful Soren's background is. I always thought they were books.
No, that's whiskey.
Now, if you want to celebrate the win, let's go to Soren's place.
Say, how much is rent in that beautiful apartment?
Going
How
down.
much?
To
There's far too much for you to come and drink, Bobby.
I don't even drink.
Oh, well, then that's all right.
Yeah, I'll
drink for you.
I'm a lightweight, Soren. I'm embarrassing.
Bobby
No,
K,
I'll
you're
just
slacking,
count
mate.
Everyone
Bobby K,
said,
you're
guys,
slacking. You've
just
got
want to say a
you've
quick
got
shout
to
out
do
to
something. You've got to change little K to special K now. You've got to do that.
you go.
Special K, not little K. It's special K now.
Just quickly,
Especially
guys.
if it's
Paul
cereal, I'll
D,
get
Paul
the
D
food.
with the super chat. Brilliant performance. Lovely to see Sun School 300%, mate. Thank you so much for the donation. And also comes back in with the second one. Romero was class today. Maddison is sensational. Guys, are we starting to look and think if we can bring Sonny into the middle? Because those two immediately just had that chemistry today, right? The chemistry that Sonny and Kane had. Is there any chance, not that they're ever going to match the same sort of numbers of goal, assist, contribution, partnerships, but if those two can stay fit, it's a big if they can, are we getting ahead of ourselves? Am I going to get ahead of myself? Call me a Louis Vuitton and carry me away, because I am more than happy to get carried away with this one. I feel like we've got a partnership brewing there.
Yeah, well, they're not running at 100% yet, but when they do, more magic, mate. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, but
How do
Sean,
I get
what I
to,
don't
how
get
do I get
is
to full screen and clip these guys?
Sean, what I don't get is when Kane was out year before last or whatever it was, Sonny came in and did a great job. Why was we doubting that Sonny couldn't play up the middle? I don't get the fan base thinking Sonny couldn't play up the middle. He was an obvious choice to go through the middle.
Do you know what I would say, Soren, is I know he won the Golden Boot, but the year that he played up front when we had Kane out, I thought actually he played, that was his best season. When he played in the Champions League run. Actually, I thought he played very, very well when he took up the mantle for Harry when he was injured.
Look, I mean, the only reason Sonny hasn't played down the middle for us is because we had Harry Kane. You know, if any other team, Sonny might have played down the middle. He is, I mean, I got shot down from this for saying this. He is a world-class player. I don't care what anybody says. You put him up front, he will score goals. Full stop.
I think.
Well, he got a hat trick.
I've never really seen him head the ball. That's pretty much the only thing I can take away from his game, right?
I wonder if the problem is that, and I genuinely, from my personal opinion, there's something to be said for these guys having to have played a certain style of football for the last 3 or 4 years. Like you're almost having to reprogram them, rather than Sonny, I feel like, has spent the last 2 or 3 years being told, you need to do this, you need to do that. And everything that was natural to him has kind of been taken out of him. And now he's having to learn how to just be a fluid, natural footballer again. Like
just to be himself again.
The last 2 or 3 managers have been so predictable in, you've got to do this. We're going to play 5. You're going to have 2. You're going to have 3. Like, it's so formulaic. Whereas Ange is very much more kind of free form. Like, he's allowing
free roam, do your own thing.
Yeah, he's allowing them to feel natural on the ball. And I feel like if you've been told not to feel natural for 3 years, and now all of a sudden you're being told to feel like, there's going to be an amount of time that they're going to have to get used to their game again. Like, I feel like we just need to have this is hard coming from a Spurs supporter, but you need to have a little patience when it comes to going from a yin to a yang, right? It's not like you've had the same people every time. Oh, yeah, you do this, this will be great, no problem. They've been pushed from pillar to post, and now they're told, go out and express yourself. So it would stand to reason that for the first half dozen games, maybe, they get the ball to their feet and they're like, well, like, can I do this? Should I do this? Whereas Ange is slowly allowing them to be like, receive the ball, do what feels good, do what feels right, be natural. And I think, you know, this was always going to be a season where it was going to be building a foundation to something. And I just pray that we give Ange enough time to be able to implement that, because I genuinely think of all the managers we've had the last 3 or 4 years, he's the one that can instill the Tottenham way of playing.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like what
like
Warren
you
was
said,
saying as well.
The factor was the fact that we were playing away, Drula. I mean, he ended up getting the space. We've seen it like at Brentford when people sit with a low block. At least Burnley came to play, even though they were at home, obviously. But that was a big factor. So it might not necessarily work all the time. I mean, sometimes when teams got a low block, you need a physical presence in the box, don't you? A number 9 that can just rough it up with their defenders. Because Sonny's not great with his back to goal. So don't get me wrong, I ain't criticising. Great performance and all that. Right. We have to allow other things. What I found particularly pleasing today, we see why Solomon kept Mudryk, who's now a Chelsea player, out of that Shakhtar Donetsk side. Because first time I've seen him have a game, and I've looked at him and I thought to myself, there's a player there, because he's not a winger, he's not a ball hog winger, if you know what I mean. Who just keeps blasting down. What we've seen him take people on before, and he's not a ball hog. Now he can do what Kulu does as well. He can lay balls off. He can play people in, and that's how
Sonny got another goal. He passed it straight to him.
Yeah, if I've got one negative that still concerns me, because I still don't think we've got a proper 11 yet, it's Porro. He was caught static, and with his pace, like, he shouldn't have got done down that wing. He lacks intelligent awareness of positional play. Just lacks it.
I think he was the worst player on the pitch today from a Tottenham perspective. I think he was. I love his enthusiasm, but he was cracking shots from 25 yards unnecessarily.
He's played well recently, so we shouldn't discard that fact. But if you're an opposition team, I'm going to target him. Because he's suspect right now. He may iron it out of his game, and I hope he does, because I want all the players to do well that we've got. He might iron it out of his game, but I mean, the guy, it's like he seemed to be standing still, static, and looked a bit startled when the players got the jump on it. It was a bit like a Grand Prix car on the second row of the grid getting the jump on the carts on the front of the grid, because he's not fucking sorry, Sean, not
okay, not from you, Adrian.
Right, okay, yeah.
Quickly, just let me just inject for 2 seconds. I've got a super chat and I want to call someone out. I haven't been paying attention. Machiavelli, don't know. I think that's a crack at Kate. I think.
Yeah.
If so, you're on a timeout, bro. But I've never seen you before. Why can't I delete your? You've disappeared.
I've already done it.
He's already been hit.
Is he blocked? Is he? Has he gone already?
Mia's already on it.
See you later, Machiavelli. Yeah, we don't tolerate that sort of nastiness on this show. We are a family-friendly environment, even when Adrian swears.
That's what we won.
Passion got the better of me, because I love links in this team. And Porro to me as well. Don't get me wrong, the problem is Porro's technically better, and he should be played in a more forward position.
Yeah, but Adrian, the last 2 games, Porro defensively has been a lot better than what we expected.
He has been better.
So I can see at least there's room for growth and improvement with him.
Yeah.
Whereas when we look at some of our players we have in the past, you look and you go, this guy, no matter what you do, he's not going to get better. Give up. Let's move on.
Emerson's better defensively, but he's not as technically as good. His final ball is, but he's still like over its balls, under its balls, and all that. So if you need to defend, you bring him on. But I just think it's a position we need to look at. I don't want to be negative of such a great result, but fans should. I think fans know he is suspect. Look, I want to breed confidence on Porro, but I can't do it yet. I just can't do it yet.
He did whip in a nice cross to Sonny for his 3rd goal, though. That was magic. But other than that, yeah, he did have a pretty downward spiral game, I guess. So, but no, overall
positions though, he moved up the line and everything like that. He was there for support and everything. He was an option.
Yeah, he doesn't have that defensive mentality. He's got the attack.
I think he's got the right tools.
maybe like because I thought Bissouma had a bit of a very tough game today. I didn't think he was spectacular, and it's interesting. Maybe him struggling and Porro struggling. Maybe like, are we guilty of?
Yeah,
did Bissouma
I know what you
struggle?
mean.
Porro
Yeah.
struggled, or did Porro struggle because Bissouma struggled? Because they are basically playing as like a double pivot when they both have the ball. When we have the ball.
But Sean, my fear is if you haven't got someone like Decky who's coming with a lot of who holds the ball up so well, wins it back in front of him, right? Lays off and he holds ball, waits things up, then he lays it off, great touch and all that. If Decky wasn't in front of him and you had someone else that was losing the ball, so whatever, I think Porro would be exposed even more. He's got better players around him at the moment, but it's just my opinion.
Yeah, because what was that kid on Burnley? Kaleshko? What, I don't even know how to say his name. The kid that
Koleosho.
Thank you. He left him standing a couple of times.
I mean, that's a good point, because what happens if, like, Brennan Johnson, from what I've seen, I mean, he's pretty good at tracking back just because he's got pace and he's got stamina, but I've not seen him put in a decent tackle. So what happens when you've got Porro behind Brennan Johnson like that? I mean, offensively, that seems very good, but defensively, that seems really weak.
Yeah, it's good. It's an interesting point. We'll find out. Maybe bringing Sonny into the middle has kind of opened up the kind of question marks a little bit around why did we bring? People were saying, why do we buy Brennan Johnson? We've already got 3 wingers on the left, 3 wingers on the right now. Is it too many wingers? You see Manor Solomon step up today and go, don't count me out, bro. I don't want to be third choice on both sides. Yeah. But you know what? And then maybe Sonny's come in and answer the question. He can go into the 9. Brennan Johnson can play either in the 9 or on the right or on the left. To me, I feel like it's given us lots of options. Roy, I want to bring you back in, mate. You've been very quiet. What's sort of your take, mate, on... Well, in fact, let me ask you a different question. Burnley play a certain way. I think Burnley played into our hands quite a lot today. They don't want to do the kind of low block defensive thing. They got back resolutely and pumped bodies into the area to try and stop. But ultimately, they were trying to play offensive football. I wouldn't categorize them as a low block team. Did that make us look better than we would fare against another team that's in the bottom half of the table that would do low block if they were coming to Tottenham, for example? Like, are we guilty of playing a team that's set up badly against us today?
Yeah, I think Burnley would look like we do when we meet City or Liverpool at their place. That's my biggest fear.
It's an interesting. Well, I'm not sure. I think we're a match for Liverpool, but yeah, but maybe if we're going to play the system that we play against Manchester City, we'll find out, right? But maybe Burnley are the kind of B-Tech version of trying to do that sort of football. Mia, what's your take? Do you think that maybe we're getting a little bit gassed because we're playing against the team that just are lower quality but trying to do similar things?
No, because I feel like that they made the adjustments in the second half because they were basically obviously concerned with how we play. I feel like that if you go out and just play how you play, then it is what it is, isn't it? Like, I feel that sometimes you are going to struggle with certain teams when you do play with that way, especially against a quality team like a Man City. But Man City, a couple of times you've seen teams go toe-to-toe with them and beat them. So, I don't think it's us getting gassed. I feel like that Ange is going to play that kind of football regardless. So whether we win or we lose or we draw, we're going to be playing that way anyway. So just enjoy it while we get to win it, while we're winning.
Yeah.
Anybody else
got sort of take on that?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, I think... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think you can only beat what's in front of you, and you've got to play each team as you play them. So, look, playing City is a totally different game for anybody. We've shown in the past playing the on the break type game against City has worked for us. What's to say that, once this team gets really bedded in together and starts playing together, starts really gelling properly, we can't go and beat City. I mean, we might get trashed 5-0. We might win 3 or 4-2. You know, who knows? But let's just ride it while we're enjoying it. If we go to City and it's an enjoyable game and we lose 5-4, so what? We've lost 5-4 against the best team in the country. Right. It's going to happen somewhere.
They don't score against us.
Hey?
They don't score against us.
The thing is, in previous games, you know, today would have been one of those games that we'd have probably lost. So, you know, we're picking up points where we didn't used to maybe. So let's expect to lose points where we would expect to lose points. But let's wait for Man City when we get to Man City. Let's just take it one game at a time.
I agree. I made the
that's happening at the
moment.
We're now on an international break, just as we're starting to roll. That's the worst thing about it.
The thing is that does anyone really expect us to go the whole season and not get beaten? No, it's on like
100%. 100%. We're not getting beaten. We're the Invincibles. Apart from the Carabao Cup,
we're the Invincibles.
More Invincibles.
This is in your blast, Sean, but you need to sort it out, mate. That ain't going to happen.
Sean, I believe in you, buddy.
I've been working this down the whole second half. I'm going to
re-up.
I made an example of
you're in the mud again, Sean.
When we play City. But what I'm really looking forward to is meeting Chelsea at their ground with this type of play, because I think we can knock them out of the park there.
Yeah, you know what, Roy? I can't wait to play Chelsea away.
Can we give a shout out to Batu in the chat? The Ange Vincibles.
Nice.
Love it.
Nice one, Batu. Very good.
That's going to be the next hashtag for a shirt giveaway for sure. The Ange
again. Ange Vincibles.
Or the Postecoglou.
Would that even fit? I don't think it'd fit.
Look at that. The
Drew's run off. He's gone to the print shop and get shirts made.
I love it. Listen, let me get Howie EIS from Canada. Big up to you, mate. Thank you so much for the super chat and the support. Big up, Shawnee and Posse. Great performances from Madders, Sonny, Solly, and Bugsy. She's been, she's back now. I can't wait to go and see how dirty her claws are. She's been digging holes trying to find, they bury bones and treats and toys and squeaky things. It's a brilliant little concept. I'm surprised it's not been done before. And I want to see how tired she is. But Romero was unbelievable. I mean, Romero, look, he's
no red card again.
Our top scorer. Oh, hello, Sonny is now. Sonny's our top scorer, right?
Is this the Romero that everybody was saying what a very good defender?
Not everybody. Just some people who now deny that they've said it.
Yeah.
And spare a fault for Van de Ven because their second goal came off him, believe it or not.
He could have got.
Again, he's got an eye for their goal, but hey, look, can't help it. He's so tall, and he's in the way a lot. But that's all right.
Maybe that's our good luck charm. If he scores one in every game for them, then
I know, man. He's going to be the own goal, top of the own goal park or whatever.
I think what it is, guys, is just the previous managers made us lose faith in our players and their abilities.
Yeah.
Because of the way they were being played. Like Soren, you touched on this, saying that they're world-class managers. I think the fact that we went with Ange and going with not a world-class manager and letting him unshackle these kids and play football is because when you guys got like Mourinho, you got a Conte, you got these guys that have achieved so much success, but they have a specific system and they want everything. I'm going to say they're narcissistic almost because they want everything their way, specifically their way, no adjustment.
Yeah.
And we found that our players, how many times we're pounding square pegs into round holes? We're pounding square pegs into round holes. And it wasn't working. It was forced. And how great is it to see Colin? So long, my man. Great.
I don't know how long you've been there, mate. I didn't see you for a while.
Vicario was very calm on the ball today with his passing and that. He's not always going to find his man, but I just think he's just growing in confidence every time I see him.
Yeah, he's looking so much better.
Conor will come online eventually. I think
what a difference.
Wonderful
and it's still
match.
Early days. I mean, there's a long season to go. I'm sure there'll be more ups from here. So. Exactly.
I'm about to re-up Brighton are up. Colin, good to see you, mate. How up are you for this season, mate? After that one, mate, where do you want to see how I try to bring in like the phrases to make it all seamless transitions? Good to see you, Colin. You're wearing last season's shirt. That season one to forget. So take the shirt off, burn it. No, don't burn it. Just put it away in the cupboard or something.
No one wants to see that pastiness. I'll take it off later. I'd blind everybody with how white I am.
What was your take on the game?
Oh man, it's beautiful. I mean, I kind of thought we might go down a goal early. We seem to do that, then it kind of wakes everybody up, gets everybody going. I'm not really sure why that happens. Hopefully, we can cut that out. But I mean, what a response! And I was saying since before the season started, I didn't think we were going to like replace Kane, and I'm not at all surprised that Sonny's playing through the middle. I mean, you guys remember when Sonny carried us through that Champions League match against City. When Kane was absent. I mean, he's shown he could do it in the past, and I'm just really glad that he's scoring again. He's looking happy. The whole team looks happy. And God, James Maddison, I cannot get enough of that man.
He's incredible, mate. He's like
40 million too for that.
Transfer of the year.
Thought processes.
You know
pray we
there's
keep
a song there's an American song that's something like "My love is like bad medicine."
Oh,
but
yeah.
I want to change it. My team is
Madison. James Madison is what I need. Oh.
Yep. Let's get that
Bon
going.
Jovi.
I tell you, do you know the best bit about that was Mia's face. It was like, what?
No, I'm so excited.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Come on, we like Happy Sean. Sing it, Johnny. Go on.
That was beautiful. And I mean, we've gotten so lucky. He's the Jack Grealish that we missed out on. You know,
It's working, Sean.
We missed out on Grealish. It was a big deal. But I think James Maddison has filled that role and then some. He fits like a glove. I kind of like his villainy. You know, like he antagonizes the other team's fans and people, and I like that. He's the kind of guy you'd hate to play against, but you love it when he's on your team. Sort of like Dele whenever he first came over. I just love it. I can't get enough of this.
He's just also what I love about him is he's like, give me the bloody ball, let's go forward. You know, it's like, let's go. You know, I love his determination and just his enthusiasm. Like he's a captain, right? So let's get going. No passing out the back. Let's go forward. You know, and that's what a playmaker is, right?
So I have to say, Hassan pulled his going over him as well.
That's right, 100%. 100%. Let me ask you guys a question, right? Who is the biggest loss? I hate to say this if it's Juju. I don't want to say Juju. I don't want to sort of jinx anything. But if you had to pick a player in the first 11 or in the squad whose absence would hit us the most via injury or red card or whatever, who is it? And I'll start with let's do a snake, top and the bottom, just names and maybe a sentence as to why. Adrian, I'll start with you.
Ooh, it's a close call, isn't it? Maddison or Basuma. I think actually we miss Maddison more because he's the more aggressive man, whereas Basuma will sit and he'll try and do them quick half turns, lose a marker and like play the ball. Whereas he's got more forward balls in him, and he's better at finding a player from wide because he's all over the place. Really, I mean, I can't speak about him highly. I've got to be perfectly honest. I mean, I've had to flip-flop a bit because I thought it was a right flash C before he came to Spurs in his early days.
Oh, yes, same.
And I wasn't like the same with Grealish. I wasn't a big fan of him either. You know what I mean? And I thought
they were young guys. They've grown up. That's the thing you got to look at, Adrian.
You know, so
youngins.
You know, I'm glad I've had to eat my words, and I'm glad he's playing for us because the problem is when you judge players, they don't play for your club. You don't see them enough to justify whether they're a good, bad, indifferent, or whatever. You just don't see enough of them, and you still don't now have all the players in the Premier League. We all watch the Spurs games, and we'll occasionally watch other games. I assume, unless you're mad dog and you watch everything on Sky. I don't. You know, I don't watch the European game either. I'm very Spurs centric, very partisan Spurs, very biased Spurs, and I'm proud of it.
So who's your answer to the question?
Madison.
Madison. Okay.
Were you listening, Sean?
I don't know.
Great
I was listening, but then we got off. We got away from that tangent. Soren, who's your if one loss that you think you pass the most?
I think it's going to be quite a resounding all the way around the panel. It's going to be one of two players, Basuma or Maddison. But
I don't think it is, mate. I think you lose Romero or Van der Ven right now. We're just as dangerous.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those that if we lose one of the defenders, we still seem as though we can score goals. I think if you take Maddison out, especially Maddison, he's just making us tick. You know, he's just making the team tick. Don't get me. It's almost a case of you can take one of 5 or 6 players out of there, and we're going to struggle. But I can always see us scoring slightly more goals than most teams are going to score against us. Even with Romero out and Sanchez in, we're going to concede. But I still feel as though we'll score more goals. Take Maddison out, I feel as though Bisuma's there to hold it together, but Maddison is just making us tick. I mean, I never thought Maddison was as good as this. I mean, some of the stuff he's doing is you just sit there and.
I don't think he's ever been this good at Leicester, though.
No,
I think his early season form at Tottenham is a different level to what I remember seeing him do for Leicester.
Yeah,
he's always been a good player, but he's playing
better crowd around him, though, Sean.
Yeah. I mean, his feet look as though they're on fire, as though the floor's on fire. He's so quick. I mean, I remember watching Hoddle and people like that and Gascoigne. But Maddison, I don't know. He just, every time...
Whoa. Hoddle and Gascoigne?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
All right, so you're saying Maddison, right, Soren, yeah?
Yeah, I've got to say Maddison.
The argument against Maddison to me is... the step down from Maddison to Lo Celso, whilst drastic and dramatic, and it's deep, it's a steep drop off. I don't think it's necessarily as giant as some of the other stars that we've got if they go down. Bobby, I'll come to you, mate. Do you have a different answer, or are you going to stick with the other boys?
No, I do have a different answer. I can't disagree with what Adrian and Soren have said. Obviously, Maddison, we saw what difference he made just coming on that 15, 17 minutes against Fulham. You know, he came on and just lifted the team. He's being very vocal out there. He's directing players. He's calling guys out, basically. He's calling people into positions, forcing player movement into gaps and everything. So fantastic. I'm going to pick Udogie, though. I think if he goes down, for as much as I don't want to discredit Ben Davies.
You know what, mate? You know what, bro?
He has a point.
And I think it's not a bad one, because I think Udogie is like, he's never going to get the man of the match when you see performances like Sonny or Maddison doing it. But Udogie, I thought, was absolutely sensationale today.
And because he was a left wing back, Shawnee, we wrote him off thinking he's not going to be able to defend. He's going to be a defensive problem. But he's shown his class. 19, 20 years old, this kid, and he's big.
He's big.
See his sprint. He had a sprint up. He had a sprint up the side of the field.
He'll take a challenge, you know. It's fantastic. I'm concerned
he's still got 18 months to grow. His body's still figuring out what he wants to look like. You know what I mean? He's still got 20. He's not 21. The body stops growing. He could be an extra inch taller. Crazy stuff.
He can run forever.
And
that's my favorite thing about him.
You know, he's going to bolt on and get stronger and faster, which is a bonus. But I think if we lose him and Ben Davies is our cover there, that scares me. I saw Ben Davies get ripped up against Fulham.
Can I just say one thing, Bobby, though, for that player? What type of player is he to say we signed him for Conte ball and how he's shining under Ange ball instead? You know, that just shows what a player we've got in that lad.
Good point. Great point.
The same could be said for Sarr, who wasn't given a chance under Conte.
No, but the point was with Udogie, he was signed to play Conte ball. He's now playing a position in a game where it was kind of wrote off saying he might not be able to play it. And like Bobby says, again, he could be one of those players that we would miss drastically. Just shows how good this player is going to be.
Or arguably, it just shows how bad of a coach Conte might be.
Listen, I mean, Conte's different for different reasons, but yeah, you know what?
Conte's a great coach. He just didn't suit us.
He's a great coach for the specifics that he wants, but you can't help but think that, you know, Udogie may have been restricted.
Football, right?
Yeah, he would have been restricted into being allowing to play the football that he wants to play, right? Because he's like he's like one of those elbow right back or left backs. Like he goes in and through, or he goes out and in. Like,
are you listening to some rave music back there?
I am. I mean, I'm a DJ, so I absolutely.
Is Storm still singing in your ears?
Yeah.
Well, Conte and Marino, they're anachronisms. Their time's gone.
Yeah, let's
carry on the round robin. I want to get everyone, if there's any other. So Bobby says Udogie, love it. The other two previously, Adrian and Soren, have both said Maddison. Roy, quick as I want to get the conversation a bit faster flowing, guys. So possible. Is there a player who you would think we would miss more than either Udogie or Maddison if they were to go injured?
I think my biggest fear is to see Eric Dyer there. Please, God, have Sanchez healthy all the time.
Yeah, he's too good. What about you, Mia?
I'd probably say Maddison. I know that I do understand with Udogie that he would be a massive miss because the replacement for him isn't as good. But I feel Maddison, everything goes through Maddison. He offers us something really special. And I was one of those who thought he was a bit too cocky. I wasn't sure of him, but I've actually fallen a little bit in love with him. I do love him. I love his little cheeky style. Like last week when he moved the ball when he was doing the corner. I loved that kind of banter, and I just thought, there's something about you that I actually really like, man. Like, I'm actually starting to really, really like Maddison. And when he goes over to the crowd as well after the game, I don't know if you saw, the three captains all went over to the crowd, all clapping. And Maddison always makes sure that he does that as well, man. So, I definitely think he's fully quiz already. And I'll give him massive props for that.
Mia's on that Rom Maddison train.
Nice work there, Drew. Still got it. Dan, any other player,
I'm going to keep it the Australian way, Vicario. All the opposite. Something oddball there. I just think no other keeper for Tottenham will beat him, and that's why I've chosen him.
We certainly can't. We certainly know that Fraser Foster.
He plays the end ball perfectly. He's like a fifth defender. He's good on his feet. He's good at the balls. He's good at saving. What more can you say? I mean, that's my take anyway.
Yeah, fair play.
Colin, anyone else, mate?
Yeah, I'm going to say Sonny. We've shown that it seems like Richarlison's allergic to scoring goals, and so I think that Sonny in the middle makes perfect sense. I don't want to see Richarlison start anymore, and people are going to think I'm absolutely nuts. But if someone's going to come on to spell Sonny towards the end of the game, I want it to be Veliz or whatever the new guy's name is, the 19-year-old Argentine kid. I want him to get a start because I've watched his highlights. He actually can find the net. He's not. I don't know. It just seems like all Richarlison wants to do is take a touch that's this far in front of him, lose the ball, throw his hands up, throw himself to the ground. Sonny was something completely different today.
Or something like.
Yeah, Sonny was
a
breath of air
like
today
500 yards.
Yeah, Sonny made the right run. Sonny was where he needed to be. He looked not lost, whereas Richarlison always looks lost and mad and pouty and confused. I just don't want to see him starting for us in important games. So I think if we lose Sonny and have Richie, then we're worse off.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Not one of you has mentioned the drop off if Basuma gets injured. It's interesting. Kate, last chance saloon. Welcome to the show, by the way, mate. How you doing? Welcome back to the show.
Good. Yeah, I've just had my Chinese, so I'm happy now.
Hey.
What is the Chinese happy, Kate?
Huh?
Is the Chinese happy?
I think she's talking about food, Adrian. I got that wrong too.
We could say it's Korean for sun, but hey.
Hey, who would you miss the most? Who do you think Tottenham would miss the most if there was an injury to any one of our first 11?
All of them. If I had to pick one, it'd be Maddison. I just don't see the creativity coming from anywhere else particularly. I think he just pulls the strings in every game and he just looks incredible. So but you could pick 5 or 6. But if I have to pick one, I'd say Madders.
Yeah, okay.
Solid choice.
Guys, last question of the day before we round off. We got a 2-week break now. Nothing to watch until Sheffield United. I'll be at the game, so I won't be able to do a watch along with you lot then. But what's the appetite for risking? Like, are we worried about injuries that are going to happen in the in the international break? Do we, if everyone comes back with a clean bill of health, do you want to see anything else? Do you want to see Brennan Johnson start on his debut at home? Do you want to go back and to Solomon keep his place? I don't know. Today you can't fault really anybody apart from the only people that I thought didn't have great games was Pedro Porro, Bissouma, and maybe Sarr. Everybody else I thought was spectacular, but you're not going to drop Bissouma. You're not going to drop Sarr. I don't think you drop Pedro Porro either. So what do we do? Do we keep it the same? I'll let you. Kate, I'll stay with you because you've just joined, and then we can go reverse order. But anyone can jump in where you want, and then we'll round off. Kate, what's your take for Sheffield United?
I'd like to see Brennan Johnson start. To be fair, I'd like to see him take Kulu's place. I'm not
Really?
Kulu. Yeah, I would. I know he didn't have a bad game today, but I've got real faith in this Brennan Johnson. From what I've been watching, seeing, reading, I think he can do a real job for us. You obviously know now that Sonny's best position's through the middle, which everyone's been screaming for forever since Kane went. So for me, I'd like to see Johnson start above Kulu and just try it and see how he goes. I think he's going to be a good signing for us, and he's so quick. So more speed.
Yeah. Stacey Bone is saying you've got Arsenal and Liverpool coming up. Tottenham fans, that's when the cracks appear. Let me ask, I'll ask Mia on this one. Are we a little bit guilty of getting ahead of ourselves? I asked the question earlier. Burnley played into our hands today, in my opinion, which is a little bit naive of company. I think that they're going to struggle this year if they continue to try and play that way. But is the big test not Sheffield United? Is the big test Arsenal and Liverpool? Yeah.
Do you know what? To be honest, Arsenal haven't actually started that well. I feel like the last couple of games, the first couple of games they won, they actually got a bit lucky, and then they drew against the 10-man Fulham. So do not tell me that they're absolutely on fire, because they are absolutely not. And then Liverpool, it always seems to be a close game with Liverpool. If you go back from quite a few seasons ago, it's always been actually a really close game with Liverpool. So I'm not afraid of no Liverpool either, because at the end of the day, it's always been close, even when we played a more defensive. So this time, they're going to not know what we're going to bring, because they've never played this Tottenham. So, no, I'm not afraid of anyone. We play handball. We are not afraid. That's what I would say.
Yes, Mia. Yes, Mia.
That's what we're talking about.
Who remembers the banger from Wanyama?
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Banger.
No way we can match any team, says George. George, I think we're getting the vibes going. The vibes are here, people. Everyone's believing. We never
We're
stop.
doing it again.
Doing it again. Let's do it again.
Look, the thing is,
guys, I'm gonna give you all. I've literally got 3 minutes, right? So until I've got to go and get the dog. So everyone's got a chance.
I'll be quick. Yeah, I'll be quick, and then I'll head off. Basically, international break. I'm not afraid of anything. Sorry, go ahead. What?
I was just saying. Hang on 1 second. Everyone's got 20 seconds to get their channels if they want to plug a channel. Say where we can find everybody. And then someone's asking me if I'm back on tonight. I don't think so. I might be. See how drunk I get. If I get really drunk, then there's a higher likelihood. If I get only semi-drunk, then probably not. That's probably how it works. Okay. But everyone, I'm going to give you last 15 seconds, 20 seconds to say your final thoughts and get your channels in there if you want to plug. Dan, you were starting, mate. I'll go for you, and then we're going to go randomly around, and then we'll say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm always concerned about injuries, but it is what it is. I think we've got a very positive start to the window. We're second currently, and let's keep up the energy. That's all from me. Love yous all, and have a good evening all day.
Dan, good to see you again, mate. See you in 2 weeks. Drew, over to you, mate. What's your? You know what? If you don't, I'm going to drop everyone out one by one. Dan, I love you, mate. I'll see you soon, buddy. Take care, Moss. Oh, I just got rid of. Didn't get rid of Colin. Drew, what's your mate? I love you to pieces, man. You're the best. You're one of the best kind of guys who organise things in the background, mate. Final thoughts. Are we doing things? Are we cooking this year? How pumped are you?
All right. Subscribe to Spurs Talk Show. Subscribe to Mia. Subscribe to Soren. If anyone else has got a channel, Kate, subscribe to Kate. We're doing bits. Like, whether you love it or not, like whether you still want Conte, we are doing bits. So let's just get on a positive path. Spurs, come on.
Love you, Drew, mate. Thank you so much for all you do in the background, buddy. I'm gonna drop you out to make it all simpler. I'll see you soon, man. Appreciate you, buddy. Take care, mate. Absolute legend. Let's go to Roy. Roy, mate, do you have a channel?
No, just a fan of the show.
Thank you very much, my man. Final
badass goatee is what he's got, though. I just realized that. I thought it was a wire for a headset or something.
It's an amazing goatee. That's like
that's awesome.
Yes.
Where are you from, Roy? Roy, are you actually a Viking?
Yeah, I'm from the northern part of Norway.
Northern part of Norway. Wow. Okay. Nice, man.
You know Kuva.
Mate, thank you so much for coming on. Come on again soon, Roy. What's your final thoughts? Are Tottenham doing bits this year or not?
I'm just glad it's fun to watch the team again.
Love it, mate. Love it. I think a lot of fans feel that way, mate.
Enjoy your night.
Gunners. Cheers, Roy. Appreciate you, mate. See you soon, buddy.
Take care.
See you guys. Adrian, mate. I'll come to you next, mate. Twitter, Adrian_Schroker for anyone that's interested. I'm going to put the links into the description afterwards so everyone can follow and find you. I haven't got time to do it right now. Adrian, final thoughts, my man.
I want you to come on later, Sean, because if we're drunk together, we'll understand each other.
All right, I say stupid things. I get myself in trouble.
What do you mean you say stupid things when you're drunk?
Burn.
We're entitled to enjoy.
I told you, man. Mia 2.0 is vicious, bro.
We're entitled to enjoy and savor the moment after the dross we've had to watch under the last three managers, yeah? So, look, let's move forward. Let's remain positive, even delusional. Let's be delusional, and just believe that we can nick this FA Cup. As Kate said, or I think Amir said on one podcast, the double is still on.
Double is still on. Adrian, you're an absolute legend, mate. Love you, man. You've been on. You came on. You weren't on at half time, were you? Did you come on at half time?
No. I was on pre-match now, mate. I don't like to overexpose myself.
Absolute legend, mate. I'll see you this evening. If I do go
expose myself either, you know what I mean? Don't want to frighten people.
Don't expose yourself. Don't do that. Cheers, Adrian, mate. I'll see you soon, buddy.
See you, buddy.
Hi, Adrian.
Soren, mate, what's crack-a-lacking, buddy? You can, by the way, boys, you can hang in the background if you want to chat afterwards. I've got to leave though, but Soren, what's crack-a-lacking, mate? What's your final thoughts for the day, man?
All I'm going to say is we are Tottenham from the aim. You know me.
Come on,
you Spurs. We're going to win the league, and Sonny is world class.
That's going back. That's going back to the season before last for that conversation.
Hey, why's your head down, Kate?
Hey,
why is Kate's head down?
She hasn't
Too much Chinese. It's too much Chinese. The Chinese is trying to come back up.
Good one, Soren. Good one.
Appreciate you, Soren, mate. Love you, man. I'll see you soon, buddy.
Thanks a lot, lads. Bye.
Good day, Soren.
Bobby K, what's happening on Three Spurs, boys?
Well, we'll be back. We'll be live in about 4 hours and 7 minutes with this one and this one. The ladies will be joining us over on Kuva the Kang tonight with myself, my lovely co-host Kuva, and you know what he says, the double is on. So I got to support my man Koobs and say the double is on. Thanks for having me, Sean. You know, always good to come on here.
That's right. Maybe I'll be drunk on your show rather than my own.
Come on, man, get all plastered up. I'll send you the link right now, so that way you don't have to look for it later.
I want it.
Sean, door's always open, buddy. Anytime you want to come, just shoot me a message, man. You know.
Three Spurs boys is where you can find Bobby K and Little K. Shout out to Little K for a great appearance, mate. Keep bringing him on next time as well. Love you, buddy. I'll see you soon. See you tonight. Take care.
Love you too.
Oh, hang on. You didn't finish speaking. Sorry, say that last part of the sentence.
Oh, just said see you later. Have a great day, everybody. That's it. Take care.
Kate, what's going on at Just to Go? We love Spurs.
Same as what was going on earlier. I'm back tonight with Bobby Kay. Monday morning, I'm on Cockerel Doodle Doo, then Savage Show, and then most days 1 till 2, I am at Just to Go Love Spurs. And Sean, please come on Bobby's show tonight because it's anything goes. So you can say anything. You can say anything.
Can't though, mate, because like there's something called an archive of the internet annals, and these things are.
But then we can blackmail you.
Yeah, we want this.
I know you want it.
We want blackmail material. We want
exactly. Sean mail.
Kate, but appreciate you so much, mate. So we'll see everyone tonight, Bobby. But you can also find Kate on Just to Go and Love Spurs.
Yeah.
I'll be putting the link
Sean.
in the description afterwards. Cheers, Kate. I really appreciate you, mate. Always. Colin, there you are, mate. What's crack-a-lacking? What's coming on the talk and ball?
Oh, well, I'm getting ready to once I get over this COVID completely, I'm getting ready to do my start doing a daily stream. Seems like the thing to do, so that's what I'm going to do. And actually, I'm planning to kind of hijack, and I'm going to do a stream as soon as Zoom ends. And so don't hate me for that, but I'm ready to keep the party going. So if anybody is...
Are you doing a stream right now, are you?
Yeah, like right when they get up here.
Oh, there you go. Your microphone's a little bit dodgy. So, guys, if you are still watching, 450 of you still here. If you are looking for a stream, then Colin from Talk and Ball, all you got to type into Google is, I haven't got the link, I'd rather redirect, but Talk and Ball is there. You can find Talk and Ball Tottenham. Go and see Colin. He's literally streaming right now. Colin, appreciate you, my man. I absolutely adore you, buddy. I will see you soon.
Having me on, bud.
Come on, you Spurs. And last but by no means least, it's the unfunny one. It's the one who's she's very calm, she's very nice. She's not a problem at all. She never says things that she doesn't mean. Mia, where can people find you, mate?
I say exactly what I mean, and I mean what I say, just knowing it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find me over at Spurs Between the Lines. I'm going to be live on tomorrow. I'll be live 5 o'clock. I've changed it to 5 o'clock now after game, so that is my new time that I'll be going live and talking about the fantastic football that we are watching. And we never stop. That's all we've got to think of, innit? We never stop. New era with Ange. So I'm happy bunny right now.
Well done, Mia. Get yourself over to Talk and
Spurs Between the Lines.
Yeah, no, I was going to say to get to the three Spurs boys first. Get onto Spurs Between the Lines tomorrow at 5. And also, just because Mia's got a bit of a tan, she starts getting a little bit more punchier than normal. Mia 2.0, maybe Mia 2.0 needs a little bit of a little checkmate. You know what I mean? Little checkmate, a little cheeky checkmate. Mia, I absolutely adore you, mate. There's people waiting in the background. They're going to chat. I've got to go. I'm going to put you in the background. Love you, Mia. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
get over to Spurs Between the Lines as well. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We are 1 hour and 25 minutes in. I'm going to leave you. I did promise you I'd sing a song. I've already sung 2 without the guitar. How about this? Tomorrow, when I'm not drunk, when I've not had 2 glasses of vodka, I will play a song or 2 about Tottenham. I'll write a song about the Burnley game. How about that? Like I did last year on Dave the Irish Hotspur. Guys, I love you to pieces. Like, subscribe, and comment beneath. Make sure you follow everybody that's been on. I'll be putting the links into the description as soon as the show is done. We are not quite top of the league. We're second in the league, I think, just behind Manchester City, but we're ahead of the Arsenal. We're ahead of the West Ham, the Hammers. Things are good. Things are really good. Things are still fragile with injuries, but things are good. We're doing it again. It's like 1961. We are doing it again. Like, subscribe, and comment, guys. And as always, I'll see you later on. Maybe, just maybe, either on this channel or somewhere else. And as always, bye-bye.